play well, good chance that Brian Roberts is going to be right in the middle of it. And last night, 2 hits and 2 walks, so on base 4 times, and he scored 3 of the 9 runs. Zach falls behind 2-0.
I think what'll be interesting tonight, Ryan, is Zach likes to establish his fastball and whether or not the Orioles will come out swinging the bats and expect him to be in the strike zone.
And now he's fallen behind, 3 balls and no strikes. Okay, so everyone's going to be a little rusty because their timing's off, their rhythm's off. They expected to be playing 2.5 hours ago, but early on, advantage pitcher or advantage hitters?
Well, I think it's advantage hitters until the pitcher can find their stride. They got to get on the mound, and it's that adrenaline thing that you're used to building up to for that 7:05 or 7:10 start. And then you got to sit and wait and wait and wait. You don't really know whether you're going to play or not, so you go through those emotional things. So you try to stay positive, but a hitter can go and hit in the cages and do some other things to get ready, where a pitcher, he just has to sit there and sort of mentally visualize himself being ready for the game.
That is only the 9th walk all season given up by Zach. So leadoff man on, and now the M&I Bank starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Pretty much the same as last night. The difference is that Lou Montañez is the designated hitter instead of Ty Wigington. Everything else the same, and why change when you score 9 runs on 12 hits? And brings up Cesar Izturis, and Zach was off the mound quickly to the first base side in case Izturis laid down a bunt. So Zach has thrown 6 pitches, 1 strike. Izturis 2 hits and 3 RBIs. It was his first 3 RBI game in 4 seasons. 1 ball, 1 strike. He had gone 409 games in between 3 RBIs. That was the second longest of any current major leaguer. Now it's on Willie Taveras, who's gone 546 games in between 3 RBIs. On the inside corner, Zach's ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Zach really just trying to establish his fastball in the inner half. The first few fastballs Ryan have been in that 92, 91 range, and now he's up to 94, so he may be starting to loosen up a little bit.
You know, with Izturis showing bunt, it reminds me of, this is something you can add to all the things that Zach does unique to him. Most pitchers, not all, but most that are good fielders are not power guys. Zach can throw with power, yet still get himself in a good fielding position.
And another thing, too, is if that slider right there stays the same all night, that's going to be a tough pitch to hit right here. This is the pitch we talked about in the open. I think this is what I would call his bread and butter pitch, because he can do a lot with this pitch, not only the left-handers, but also the right-handers.
That is Zach's 60th strikeout in 53 1/3 innings. Second in the American League in that department. So 1 on 1 out for Nick Markakis. Like Izturis, had 3 RBIs last night, couple of doubles. And he's after the first pitch, a fastball at 94 miles an hour. Then it seemed like most power guys, they lose a little bit of control of their body and they are not in a good fielding position after that, and it's more the finesse guys that can deliver the pitch and get squared up to field a ground ball.
Well, Zach was a shortstop. I saw him play shortstop in high school, and so he can really move around out there, and it doesn't really phase him. I like his composure, because a lot of times the guys square around, a lot of pitchers lose complete sense of the strike zone, and he just stays right in there, and he says, you want to bunt it, go ahead and bunt it. And now he goes back to this slider again, and this one he goes like on the outside corner, like a back door. So if that keeps going down like that, he's going to be awesome.
Just missed the outside. Well, that's where Zach wanted to go. Olivo gave him a couple of signs before that, and Zach shook him off.
Well, a lot of times when you feel like you got the slider working and you can back leg it to the left-handed hitters, you'll go out there on purpose just to change the eye level, then you come back down under.
Roberts has stolen 5, but he's been thrown out 3 times. The Orioles have been thrown out attempting to steal more times than any other in the American League. Strikeout number 2. So he didn't get the call on the pitch before, but it set up that hard slider.
I really think he did that on purpose. If he figured he missed, he got the eye level outside on the outside corner. And if he feels that slider, now he comes back down underneath with it. And you can tell the depth of the slider because all the hitters so far, it just swung over the top of it. So that means it's going down.
Now Aubrey Huff, who homered last night, his 7th of the year, had 4 home runs, 10 RBIs against the Royals last year. Zach walked Brian Roberts to open the game, but then coming back to strike out is Turris and Markakis. Into left field to Jesus coming up. You have to play it on a bounce, and you have to be careful tonight with the wet grass. 2 on, 2 out for the Orioles.
Well, that's one of those balls where you got to make sure you play the hop as long as possible and short as possible. But on this one, David got caught in between, but he was really fortunate enough that he was able to stop this ball.
There's an example right there of the state-of-the-art drainage systems that we see in the newer ballparks these days. All that rain, and there was hardly any splash, any mist at all when the ball hit the grass.
And normally when those outfielders start running around, you see water splashing around their ankles. Because those are the guys that are going to complain on a night like tonight.
Melvin Mora was on base 4 times last night with a couple of hits and 2 walks. Royals giving up 7 walks last night, and 3 of those coming around to score. And the Royals coming in tonight 7th in the league in walks. That's a great pitch. 96 at the knees over the outside corner. So 7th in the league is middle of the pack, but for most of the season the Royals have been in the top 3 or 4 in fewest walks.
I just kind of had that one little patch there where things got bad the last homestand and the last road trip, but Zach's not one of those guys. He goes out there and pounds the strike zone on both sides.
I've got a piece of Olivo. It's no balls and 2 strikes on Mora.
Yeah, Mora, he's a real aggressive first pitch fastball hitter, and Zach throws a slider on the outside corner. So he would probably be one of those hitters that would be real susceptible to that slider because he is a real aggressive, and he likes the ball middle down in.
And now the fans want to see Zach strike out the side. He has already gotten his Turris and Markakis. Right field near the line and shallow. Jose Guillen makes the play. It's a scoreless first inning for Greinke. Ray Hillman filled out this lineup card. The M&I Bank Royals batting order with Chris, DeJesus, and Butler batting third after driving in 3 runs last night. Jacob stays in the number 4 position, followed by Jose Guillen. And then a different bottom 2 tonight with Olivo and Bloomquist in there. Buck and Aviles were at catcher and shortstop last night. Coco scoring 2 runs, reaching with a walk and a triple. Also had an RBI last night. Slowly but surely adding points to his batting average at .252. Two balls, no strikes. The on base percentage is at .373. Anytime a hitter, no matter what their batting average is, when you can add 120 points to your batting average to get to the on base percentage, that means you're finding a lot of different ways to get on base.
Well, those walks really make a big difference when you're not swinging the bat well, especially when you can get on base and steal bases like Coco has, and also with that, see a run scored also.
Aubrey Huff at first base to the bag himself. One down in the bottom of the first inning. 31-year-old Adam Eaton. Here's the Kia scouting report.
I think the one glaring thing that stands out are the walks, the 16 walks, 11 innings, and they'll try to nibble the outside corners, try to stay out of the middle, but when you pitch that way, you're always going to put yourself in a position to walk a lot of guys, get deep counts, and have to come in and give them some big swings to the Royal hitters. So this would be a good night for the Royals to try to be a little patient, try to work the count a little bit, and try to get him more over the plate when he falls behind in the count.
1 strike now to DeJesus. After a 1-for-18 road trip, David with 2 hits, both doubles, a walk, and driving in a run. And the count is 0-2. Adam Eaton has really only had 1 good start. That was against the White Sox on April the 23rd. Gave up just 2 runs in 7 innings. Every other start he has given up at least 4 runs. David to the left side and down in the count 0-2. Singles to left. One on, one out, and we say hello to Joe Goldberg.
Well, Ryan, down here on the field just by the Royals dugout, got a report from Trevor Vance about the condition of the field. They took about 2 inches of rain over the last 5 hours, but the infield had been covered since 2:15, so he said the infield is great. As far as the outfield goes, the grounds crew last Saturday poked holes in the outfield to help with drainage, about 7-inch holes, a process called vertidraining, or just a basic aeration, and that helped the outfield today. So they said that everything is ready to go and in good shape, guys.
Oh, we certainly noticed that on the base hit to left field in front of DeJesus. There was no splash at all. Now, that same area, the warning track up against a barrier wall a couple hours ago, that was ankle-high water.
I was during the construction days, and everything. That water just ran down through the tunnel and just wiped out that whole right center field area.
0-2 on Billy. Hit his 3rd home run last night. Drove in 3. Trey Hillman moving him to the number 3 position. That worked out, so Billy back there tonight. DeJesus has attempted only 1 stolen base so far this year and was thrown out. He's running, and Billy fouls it away. 63 degrees at first pitch. We started at 9:40, so a 2-hour, 30-minute rain delay. Official time and temp presented by the parking spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The parking spot at KCA. And we have heard that we have seen the last of the rain tonight. Jesus not running, and Billy takes down and away. Adam Eaton, a former first-round draft pick 13 years ago by the Phillies out of high school. And then 5 years after that had the Tommy John surgery on his right elbow. Bounced around, was traded to the Padres, and then signed back with the Phillies a couple of years ago. In on the hands. Zahn and Mora over to the Orioles dugout, and it drops in between.
This is what you call, Ryan, lack of communication right here. Neither player called for the ball, and they got too close to each other. And with the third baseman having a priority, Donnie just sort of gave up on it and let it fall. Both guys retreated at the same time. If I know Zani, he's fuming inside right now.
So if nobody called for it, then nobody did anything wrong. But since nobody called for it, nobody did anything right either.
Well, they gave Billy an opportunity to continue this at bat. That would be the right thing for the Royals.
David leaning towards second base. That got Adam Eaton's attention. Mentioned that Eaton had signed a big contract to go back to the Phillies a couple of years ago. But his first year with the Phillies, an ERA of 6.29. His second year, he was sent to AAA. And he didn't even play the third year. He was released in spring training, and Billy makes the Orioles pay. De Jesus to third base. Dave Owen is going to hold him there. Butler comes through with a double. So the no play results in a big play.
Well, this is a play that should have gotten Billy out of the batter's box, but both players gave up on it, and here's a breaking ball that stayed up to Billy on that second chance, and he gets a double down the left field line. And with David running the way he is, Ryan, it just really tells you that infield is in great shape, because there's no hesitation at all. There's no slipping. It just like it's never rained.
So second and third with one out. And with Zach Greinke pitching tonight, the Royals with a chance to put a big dent in this game in the bottom of the first. And a slow breaking ball for strike one.
This is that situation we talked about where the Royals can actually get a run without the benefit of a base hit. You can get the ball to shortstop, second base. You got all your outfielders for sac flies. So don't think about getting a base hit right here, but just think about just getting a run in. And most times you're going to be successful.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jacobs leads the Royals with 21 RBIs. And 2 balls, 1 strike. Not only did the Phillies release Adam Eaton in spring training this year, but they released him with $9 million still on his contract. And the Orioles, with some good young pitchers in the minor leagues, not quite ready for this level, looking for some veterans to plug some holes until those young pitchers are ready. Now Jacobs at 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is where you'd like to see him shorten up and make sure he at least gets a ground ball up the middle.
That's what you're looking for here. Don't worry about getting a base hit. Just worry about keeping the ball in the middle, because that's where you can get a run in and run over. And then you can be successful to your ball club without getting a base hit. The way Jake stands straight up and the way Eaton's been working the corners, you can kind of see him going to the outer half of the plate, and Mike Jacobs just got to stay with it and try to drive it into left center field.
Three and two. I don't think Adam Eaton would like to face Jose Guillen with the bases loaded and one out in the first inning, but he doesn't necessarily have to give in here with an open base.
Well, that's true, and it still sets up the double play possibility with a right-handed hitter coming up, so I'm sure he's aware of that and don't want to make a mistake in the middle of the plate right here.
Eaton is in no hurry here in the bottom of the first, and Jacobs impatient, stepping out to reset his thoughts. With one out, DeJesus singled, Butler doubled. And Jacobs off the fist. Melvin Mora with a diving attempt, but that will fall on the warning track.
That would have been a good makeup for Melvin Mora after the first ball dropped in, but he did everything he could and made a great effort, but came up a little short. That tells you that the field's dry too. He can go slide right across.
He may feel that tomorrow, maybe not tonight, but he really wrenched his neck the way he landed.
Well, that's the old whiplash thing. You know, you land on your see the dirt on his left hip there. It sort of landed on your chest. He landed on his side, so he could be a little stiff in the morning.
And Jacobs strikes out, chasing a pitch way out of the strike zone. A big out for Eaton. And now second and third for Jose Guillen.
Well, the Ross really have the situation that we talked about in the last couple games of making sure that your 3, 4, 5 guys hit with men on base, and this gives you an opportunity to really break a game open early, but you got to get that base hit when you get those men out there.
Guillen 1 for 3 with a walk last night. Almost took one off the chin. Jose glaring out at Adam Eaton. Eaton has had his control problems this year with 15 walks in just over 30 innings. So 1 walk every 2 innings. In this inning, his problem so far has been putting hitters away. Now he's able to strike out Jacobs, but 0-2 on DeJesus, who singled to left. 1-2 on Butler, who doubled to left.
Well, this is really Jose's situation right here. He can pick and choose the pitch he wants to swing at, and Adam Eaton, knowing the way he's pitched so far, he's probably not going to give in with a fastball.
3 balls, no strikes with Tien on deck. Well, both pitchers showing a little bit of rust in the first inning. Zach Greinke's rust lasted for about 4 pitches. As he walked Brian Roberts, then was able to come back with a couple of strikeouts and a flyout, and now Adam Eaton coming up on 25 pitches in his first inning. Three and one. And pitch count has been an issue for Adam Eaton. He's only going about 5 innings per start and about 100 pitches per start. So that's easy math. That's 20 pitches per inning. That's a lot of standing around on defense.
Just got to have some hard balls put in play.
Hit hard, hit deep, unfortunately foul. Not many balls travel that far. 3-2 on Guillen.
Well, it's a big curveball right here, and we know that Jose can really hit that ball, especially when it's moving into his bat. And the question was not he's going to keep it fair or foul.
That ball is fair, and it's into right field. Butler being waved around third. And Guillen drives in two. Well, they've done it again, Frank. Don't get the runner home from third with less than 2 outs, but they get the clutch hit with 2 outs.
Well, that's what you call living on the edge, but it's the way you can't live all year. You got to be able to play some runs without the benefit of it being 2 outs. And Jose did a great job right here on the fastball inside, pulling those hands inside, staying inside the ball, and forcing the ball to right field for a big 2 RBI base hit.
Didn't hit it all that hard, but perfectly placed with Brian Roberts kind of guarding the middle.
Well, it just had that little slice to it, a little tail to keep it moving away from the second baseman.
Strike on Martin. Tough night last night. 0 for 4, including grounding into 2 double plays. He's facing Adam Eaton for the first time. The Royals have seen Adam Eaton, but nobody has faced Adam Eaton before in a Royals uniform. Last time he pitched against KC was in 2004 when he was pitching for the Padres. Into left center. And PA and Reimold almost colliding. Reimold makes the catch, and that's the inning. But the Royals get 2 with 1 out. David DeJesus on a 0-2 pitch. Singles to left. Butler on a 1-2 pitch. Doubles. And Guillen gets him home. Take a look at tonight's league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. And with Miguel Olivo behind the plate, he has the best individual ERA of any catcher in the American League, and also the best differential compared to the team's overall ERA. 1.11 for Olivo, 3.73 for the Royals. That's best in the American League, but Olivo at 2.62. Now, that's not to suggest that, Olivo is the better game caller, but I think that really works for him because he's trying to shake that reputation of a hitting catcher and not a very good defensive catcher. Broken bat, and Montañez singles into center field to lead off the second inning.
I think that's what's really helped him, Ryan, is that being able to catch Zach and being able to be on the same page with Zach, and they kind of helping each other, and Zach giving him a lot of credit. So that I'm sure that'll bring him a long way toward that respectability, being able to call games.
Well, there's the best since 1987. I guess that'd be since 1969. But I was going to say 2 of those guys are here tonight. There's Buck Martinez, who's the television analyst for the Baltimore Orioles, and I know I've seen John Wathen here somewhere tonight. There he is. Speaking of guys who ran well, Jim Sundberg now in the Texas Rangers front office. Nolan Reimold made his major league debut last night and was 1 for 5. Had an infield single in the 7th inning off of Ron Mayhay, so he'll remember those details for the rest of his life. One ball, one strike on the power hitting outfield prospect. Getting a chance to play with Adam Jones, their star center fielder, who's out with a sore hamstring, not on the disabled list, and Luke Scott, who has a sore shoulder. Zach's ahead 1-2. Tonight was going to be a sellout. All tickets were either sold or projected to sell. There are some walk-up tickets or are available the day of the game. And as expected, some people going home a little early because of the long rain delay, but not as many as we thought. I mean, this crowd is, the majority of it is still here tonight.
Still looks full to me. Really, with the people out around the fountains, they really give you that full feel when you look out there and see people moving around.
Montañez has not attempted a stolen base. Nolan Reimold, a second-round draft pick for the Orioles in 2005. Didn't mean to go around. Could be 2. Bloomquist on the bag. Double play.
No, Jack throws another great slider down below, and I tell you, the one thing that Willie did there, he really stayed with a really in-between hop, a tough hop, and kept his motion going, kept his feet moving, and it made a nice double play right there.
So 2 outs for Greg Zahn. Former Royal last night, 0 for 5.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Zach's slider is that before the hitters realize it's not a fastball, they've already either checked their swing or they've just swung right by it.
There's the changeup that Zach spent all spring training working on. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's one pitch you don't see a lot, so he goes to it to see if he can find it. But what you want this changeup to do when you use that 3-finger grip, you actually wanted to go down a little bit more than that one. That one stayed really up in the hitting area. But he really wants that ball to turn over and just go down, sort of like a sinker in a way, or just go down and a little bit away from a lefty.
And then back with a fastball at 97, so
which probably looked like 100.
Jeez, 16 miles per hour difference between the changeup and the fastball. Took a little off that one, only 96. It's still 1-2. Fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Grady Sizemore leads the Indians into Tampa Bay to take on Evan Longoria and the defending American League champion Rays. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week at 3 p.m. Central. There's the slider. It's down and in. 2-2 on Greg Zahn. Coming back with a slider, that back foot slider as they call it, and the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2.
Well, what makes that pitch successful if it stays off the ground just a little bit longer? If it hits in front of the hitter, they usually don't swing at it, but if it stays up a little longer, travels to the back foot, then it looks like it's a ball that's about knee high, and lefties automatic swingers on the ball low and in.
And this is just outside with a fastball. Greg Zahn wasn't 100% sure that was going to be called a ball.
Well, that's down around the knees on the outer half, and I think he was taking a quick peek back back at home plate umpire Dale Scott to make sure that he doesn't get called back.
So 2 walks given up by Greinke, only 10 all year. And now Felix Pie, who batted 9th last night as well and was the catalyst for the 2 biggest innings for the Orioles last night. A 1-out walk in the 5th inning against Gil Mesh, and the Orioles went on to score 4. Hits it on the ground to Butler, Billy to the bag, and that's the inning. 2 scoreless for Greinke. Two to nothing Royals on a 2-out 2-run single from Jose Guillen in the bottom of the 1st. So the Royals lead for the first time in this series. Alberto Callaspo bats first against Eaton in the 2nd and takes ball 1. 2 hits and 4 trips for Callaspo last night. Comes in tonight batting .330. Hit hard to center. PA plays very shallow, but able to recover and run it down, making a very difficult play look easy.
Okay, this is a nice changeup that stayed out over the plate. Casper really put a good swing on this ball, and he doesn't really drive the ball that well to center field. And PA made a nice play after turning one way, then only speed can make up for the wrong turn, and he made a great turn at the last minute and made a nice play.
Now Olivo not in the lineup last night. John Buck had 2 hits and a walk, scored a run, and the Royals 9-5 loss last night. Olivo with an 8-game hitting streak coming in tonight. And that's hit hard to center field. PA again getting turned around. The ball not carrying. That's 2 balls off the bat of Callaspo and Olivo that just kind of fizzled once they got out to center field.
That one sounded great off the bat.
You Call It, presented by Sprint tonight. How many games will Zach win? Right now 6 in his first 7. A, 12-15. B, 16-19. C, 20-23. Or D, 24 or more. 432 432, keyword Royals, followed by a space and then your selection. 0-1 on Willie Bloomquist. You have any thoughts on that one?
I knew that was coming. How about you?
Well, the Royals record is 23. Brett Saberhagen in 89. Steve Busby is 122. So 24 or more would be a Royals record, and is somewhat unprecedented by today's standards. 2-2 on Bloomquist. You know, I was asked this question recently, and I said, I think he'll win 20 games. And it's so easy to fall into the trap of, you know, the way things have been the last 10 years. Well, you know, this isn't going to last. And if everyone around the league is saying Zach Greinke is one of the best pitchers in the American League, well, then he should win 20 games.
Well, 20 games is a standard, and, you know, he's going to.
Roberts makes the play. We'll continue that discussion as the Royals go down in order in the second. This summer, Coors Light introduces the new 12-ounce cold activated can. When the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Frost-brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Top of the order, Brian Roberts walked to open the game. The Orioles with 2 base runners in the first, no runs, and then 2 more in the second. Didn't score. Greinke getting the help of a double play. 1-1 on Roberts. He has scored 30 runs as the Orioles leadoff man. That's the 4th best in the league, and that ball is whacked to deep right field. Guillen going to play it off the wall. Roberts on his way to second and just beats the throw. The Orioles with a runner at second base and nobody out.
Once that gets a fastball in our inner half, Roberts really turned on it and really got the good part of the bat on the ball and really drove it into the right field corner. Jose Guillen really hustled over, played it well off the wall, and made a strong, accurate throw to second base, but Roberts beat the throw just by a little bit.
And now the Royals expect a bunt from Cesar Izturis. who has laid down 2 sacrifice bunts so far, but he is swinging away and fouls it just below us. Some managers, and we've seen Trey Hillman do this, give the hitter one shot in a situation like this to drive the ball, and then with 1 strike might call for the bunt. Although Zach's probably not the easiest guy in the American League to bunt against. And as Turris swinging away again, fouls it away, and it's 0-2.
Well, a lot of managers don't really like to give that bunt away. They want the guy to swing the bat and try to get a base hit, but it's still early enough in the game. It's only a 2-run game, and like I say, if you don't have the ability to pull a guy like Zach Greinke, then you're better off to bunt and advance the runner and do something to help the ball club.
And as Turris strikes out for the 2nd time tonight.
And this is what I call Zach's lights out pitch. This is it right here. I haven't seen many guys go down and try to dig that ball out. Everybody's swinging over the top of that ball. And just see him drive down to the bottom of the zone. See the drop on that ball, man. I tell you, that's not an easy pitch to hit.
So Roberts at second base for Markakis, who also struck out in the 1st inning. You know, if you're playing for a big inning against Zach Greinke, it would be the first all season. A little surprised that you don't try and just get 1 run on the board. I mean, I know you're getting into the middle of the order, but Markakis struck out his 1st time against Zach.
Well, you'd like to have a guy like Markakis hitting with a man on third, you know, and 1 out. You know, that's the middle of your order. That's one of your hot hitters.
Roberts to third. Olivo's throw dropped by Tien. In and out of his glove, and it appeared to be on line, or it was at least bobbled by Tien. Trey Hillman is going to go out and argue, but it didn't look like Tien caught it clean.
It looked like it rolled up in the heel of his glove a little bit, and just avoid it. When that happens, it keeps you from making that quick tag that you need to make.
James Hoy is the third base umpire.
I tell you one thing, Olivo made a great throw. You see how far back in his posture he caught that ball. If he'd have reached out just a little bit more, he'd have been able to handle that ball a little bit better, but he caught it so far back and never did really get the tag down.
Well, he actually did not bobble the ball. I saw a lot of white in his glove, and from our angle, it looked like it may have popped out of his glove.
Well, he's pretty lucky that one didn't pop out, because it was about as close on the end of the glove as you want to have a ball right there. And Olivo made a great throw.
It appears to be the right call by James Hoy.
And my thinking there is, if you're going to steal third, why not steal with no outs? You know, if you want him at third base, why not bunt him over and get him there?
Well, stealing third is Brian Roberts' specialty. Large percentage of his stolen bases are of third. 2 years ago, he had 50 stolen bases on the season, and 19 of those were of third base. In fact, he was 19 of 20 trying to steal third. And now it's 3-1 on Markakis.
Well, the good base stealers will tell you that third base is a lot easier to steal than second base, because a lot of times the pitchers aren't as quick to the plate with a runner on second as they are with a runner on first.
Fly ball left, not deep. DeJesus moving in. Roberts will not tag. So Zach comes up with a great pitch on 3-1 and gets a shallow fly ball from one of the best RBI men in the American League. So 2 down. Here's tonight's Roadrunner Turbo speed pitch comparison, and really no comparison. Zach has hit 97. He's been consistently 94 to 96. Adam Eaton at 91. Remember, you can double your speed with Roadrunner Turbo from Time Warner Cable. Changeup is high to Aubrey Huff. Single to left field in the first inning. He has driven in 32 runs. Two of the best RBI men in the American League so far are Markakis and Huff, and they hit back-to-back for the Orioles. 96 with that fastball. It's 1-1. Did he go? No. Zach trying to get around a leadoff double to Roberts with one out. Roberts stealing third base. And then Markakis flying out to shallow left field. Royals getting two in the bottom of the first on a Jose Guillen single. Did he go that time? Yes. And not only did he go around, but James Hoy, the third base umpire, didn't seem to be very happy about it. And now he's hearing about it from the third base dugout. Same pitch, but Huff wouldn't go for it. It's 3-2. Here's the first check swing.
On this one, Ryan, just watch the reaction of Zach on this one. He looked pretty dejected after that one.
Oh, that was the one that was called a swing. And now Huff fouls it off of his foot.
Well, you can see why the Oriole bench is pretty upset about that call.
Dave Tremblay, the manager, is way down on the far end of the dugout yelling at James Hoy, and James Hoy was pointing at the Orioles dugout as if to say, hey, I know who's yelling at me, keep it down. Orioles are on the scoreboard. Aubrey Huff is 2 for 2. Well, that's what good major league hitters do. They get a call that goes against them, but they don't allow themselves to become unglued.
Right, and one thing he does too here, Ryan, is he doesn't try to pull his ball, just really stays with it and drives it to left field. You can see Zach's reaction to this base hit right here.
So Huff drives in his 33rd, and Melvin Mora takes ball one. Mora has hit in his last 5 games, spent some time on the disabled list in the middle of April with a hamstring injury. On the outside part of the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Zach got Mora on a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Zach hasn't had an easy inning yet. A walk and a single in the first, nobody scored. A single and a walk in the second, no runs. And now a double and a single and a run in the third. And now that's up the line to right field. Aubrey Huff will go first to third. And the Orioles have come up with 5 hits in less than 3 innings against Greinke.
But before that at bat, Ryan Moore was 0 for 10. And he just really stays inside this ball. And normally he wants to get out front and pull, but he stayed inside the ball and went to right field and took advantage of the hole between first and second.
In case you're wondering, the most hits a team has gotten this year against Greinke in a game is 7. That was Texas, but that was in 9 innings. And a shutout. Now strike one on Lou Montañez. And that's into deep left center field. A long, long run for Coco, but the ball is just dying in the outfield tonight and settles into Chris Glove to end the inning. Orioles get on the scoreboard. HIV Ministry Outreach 5 years ago, now serves as the executive director of the organization. She is currently working with Maurice Hines, the brother of the late actor and dancer Gregory Hines, to open the Hines House of Hope in Missouri, and she's sitting tonight in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seat. So welcome to Joanna. Also, fans, don't forget to nominate others who make a difference in our community for the All-Stars Among Us promotion, sending one worthy Royals fan to St. Louis for the 2009 All-Star Game. Fans can visit royals.com/community to submit nominations. royals.com/community. Shallow left center, run down by Felix Pie, who has a fancy little flip to the shortstop as Torres after the catch. One out in the third inning. Crisp is 0 for 2. And brings up David DeJesus, who got the 2-run rally started in the first inning. With one out and down in the count 0-2, single to left. Butler doubled. And then with 2 outs, Jose Guillen singled him home. Oh and 1. So some good signs for DeJesus the last couple of nights. With a couple of doubles last night, and then down 0-2 at that single to the opposite field tonight. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So he has Adam Eaton right where he wants him.
Well, he's really making a good effort to stay up the middle in the left field and try to get some base hits. Sometimes you get in a pull mode and you roll over balls and you pop up pitches down the middle that you should hit line drives with. So he's really just showing a lot more patience tonight, and started last night. And when he's hitting the ball in that direction, that means he's seeing the ball pretty good.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Checked his swing, but that's a called third strike. Strikeout number 2 for Adam Eaton. Well, coming up on Sunday, 10,000 kids 14 and under will get an up-close and personal look at a lion here at Kauffman Stadium. We're giving out Build-A-Bear Workshop lions on Sunday for the 110 game. You can get your tickets at 1-800-6-ROYALS, Royals.com, the stadium box offices, or area Hy-Vee food stores. Billy doubled and scored in the first inning, but he got some assistance from the Orioles defense, who misplayed a pop-up, giving Billy extra life, and he made him pay for it.
Well, he definitely did. He got a pitch up, and Billy's hands are really flying through the zone, especially on the ball, any inching off speed on middle in.
Reaching, pulls it to his Turris. And the Royals down in order in the third inning, and now Eaton has retired the last 7. Two to 1 Royals, and so far Zach hasn't been his dominating self. In fact, he seemed a little angry after the last inning, and he has a knack for turning angry into nasty.
Well, he can really toughen up, and there was a couple calls he thought he should have gotten. He was real disappointed when he on the pitch that he made when they got the base hit. So you could tell that he was really frustrated by that. So he hasn't been known to turn it up.
He hasn't had an easy inning yet. In each inning, the Orioles have had at least 2 base runners. And now in the 4th inning, a drive to deep center field again. Boy, you see some balls hit hard to center field, but just dying out there. And Reimold flies out to Coco Chris. 1 down. Here's the AA MCO clutch play of the week, and we go back to Zach's last start on Saturday at Anaheim. It was another clutch outing for him. He certainly pitched good enough to win the game, allowing just 1 run in 8 innings. But Joe Saunders of the Angels threw his first major league shutout, and the Angels won that game 1-0. Oh, and 1 to Greg Zahn, who was on base with a walk in the 2nd inning. One ball, 1 strike. Zach has walked 2. He has struck out 3. And the Orioles with 5 hits in the first 3 innings. They have 1 extra base hit. Roberts led off the 3rd with a double. The Orioles doing a good job in the first 3 innings, making sure that they don't try and overswing against Zach. Just a lot of line drive swings that have resulted in 5 hits. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th inning. And we'll revisit You Call It, presented by Sprint. How many games do you think Zach will win? And overwhelmingly 20 or more. 40% saying 20 to 23. 47% thinking that he'll set the Royals single season record with 24 or more. Keep voting at 432-432, keyword Royals. Standard text rates do apply. Curveball for a strike on Felix P.A., who grounded to Butler in the second inning. A slower curveball is down and away, 1-1. Brett Saberhagen, 23 wins in 89. That's the record, single season record for the Royals. Steve Busby had a year where he had 22. 1-2 on PA. Here's the list of 20-game winners for the Royals. Dennis Leonard and Brett Saberhagen, the only Royals who have done it more than 1 year. 2-2 on PA.
Well, as we know, it's not easy to win 20 games. I mean, you get anything over 15, you've had a great year. And you know Zach with his stuff, he's going to pitch 24 or more, but a lot has to go into winning 24 games.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And a lot of that is not in your control. For instance, Zach could have easily won his last start. He gave up 1 run in 8 innings. I mean, you should win that game.
Well, you should win it. So but like I say, he's going to pitch 24 more. But a lot goes into what his teammates do on offense and defense.
That's Zach's first 1-2-3 inning. 2-1 Royals at the end of 3.5. Two to 1 Royals. Jose Guillen has driven in 2 for the Royals. Aubrey Huff has driven in 1 for Baltimore. Mike Jacobs leads off against Adam Eaton in the 4th inning. Eaton struck him out in the 1st, and at the time appeared to be a big out with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 away. But as the Royals have done so often this year, not getting a runner home with situational hitting, instead getting runners home with clutch hitting. Jose Guillen followed with a 2-out, 2-run single. Adam Eaton has retired the last 7. And now it's 3-0 on Jacobs.
Well, if the front of the order can keep taking the offense to the middle and giving that 3, 4, 5 hitter a chance to hit with men on base, then you can get a few more of those 2-out big base hits.
3-1. Eaton has not walked anyone tonight, but has had control issues at times this year. Jacobs, Guillen, Tien here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That side of the field has been the Bermuda Triangle for the Baltimore Orioles tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. In the first inning, Greg Zahn and Melvin Moore coming together. Couldn't decide who wanted to try and catch a Billy Butler pop-up. And that may have cost the Orioles a couple of runs.
Well, they did, and they gave Billy a new life. And when you get new life as a hitter, you really make it pay, and Billy made him pay on that one.
Jacobs pounds it to center field. PA all the way back. Jacobs homers to straightaway center field.
We thought the ball wasn't carrying today, and we saw Caspo hit a ball in the center field with good contact. We saw Miguel Olivo drive a ball to center field, and we said it wasn't carrying. But when the big boys hit him, that ball goes. And Mike Jacobs, when he gets one, that's his power, right straight away center field. That was a great shot. Ball down, right into his swing.
And again, grounds to the right side. This time Roberts grabs it. So Guillen is 1 for 2.
Let's take a look where this pitch is, right down into his swing, and he just really had good leverage on it, got really extended on it, and the ball really jumped off his bat. And this is what happens when guys who hit home runs square the ball up.
Every home run hit by Mike Jacobs this year means $500 to Operation Breakthrough, an inner city daycare center, a place that Jacobs visited this offseason during a portion of the Royals caravan, and with 2 young children himself was moved and wanted to do something to help, and every home run is worth $500. So he has donated $4,000 so far with 8 home runs. Had to do some quick math there. 8 times 5. Add a 0. Tian flied out to left field in the first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giving up home runs has been a problem for the Orioles this year. They have given up the most in the American League, 55. Now they play in a ballpark where a lot of home runs are hit. And Tian into right center field. Markakis on it quickly. You got to keep an eye on Tian when he hits one to the gaps. So Tian comes back from 0-2 to even the count and singles with 1 out.
He just picked on a curveball that stayed out over the plate, and he just was able to go down and get it and keep it in the middle there. So yeah, he stayed back and let the ball travel. Just dropped the head of the bat right on it.
Now you may have seen that was not Rusty Kuntz greeting Mark Tian. Eddie Rodriguez, the Royals special assignment coach, will be coaching at first base tonight. So no Rusty Kuntz, and Joel Goldberg will tell us all about that.
Well, you know, it's graduation weekend, it seems like, all over the country, and that's the case for Rusty as well. His son Kevin graduating from Union High School in Tulsa this weekend, and this isn't a small graduation. Rusty was telling us the other day, the graduating class, not the school, the graduating class for Kevin, 2,600 kids. There are 3 sessions for the graduation. He's in the G through M session, and oh, by the way, the kid can swing a pretty good stick as well. .438 hitter last year as a junior. He's an infielder heading to KU next year, guys.
Going to play for Rich Price. And Rusty is going to be moving to Kansas City, so he can be close to his job and to his son. 3-0 on Alberto Callaspo. Eddie Rodriguez has a lot of experience as a first base coach. He was the Mariners first base coach before coming over to the Royals. 3-1 to Cayaspo, and he was also the first base coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2001 when they won the World Series. And if you remember the most famous moment of that World Series, Luis Gonzalez winning it in Game 7 and jumping up and down after singling against Mariano Rivera. Well, right behind him you see the first base coach Eddie Rodriguez jumping up and down right along with him. 3-2 on Cayaspo, who flied out to deep center field in the second inning. Cayaspo and Olivo for the Royals, and Nolan Reimold for the Orioles, suffering on drives hit hard to center field, not caring. But like Jacobs in this inning, able to hit a line drive that cut through the wind. Tien runs and Cayaspo fouls it away.
When you hit them low and hot like he hit that one, though, the old timers call those type of ball wind cheaters, and they just stayed right through it. They just rode a straight line, and they say you can hang your clothes on the line like that. So I mean, it was just a shot.
A wind cheater.
A wind cheater. That's like in golf when you hit it low, just get through the wind. The wind don't play with those ones that go right down low and hot.
Tien running, but Cayaspo takes ball 4. So a single and a walk with one out, bringing up Miguel Olivo. Fox Sports Kansas City is on Facebook, and tonight for every strikeout Zach Greinke records, we will give a Royals jersey to one of our Facebook fans. If Zach strikes out 10, we'll give away 10 jerseys. We'll draw the winners and post the winning names on Facebook. Miguel Olivo, good swing on the first pitch thrown to him in the second inning, driving it to center field, but appeared to hit it too high, and the wind grabbed it and knocked it down. And the question has come up with every team that comes to New Kauffman Stadium this year for the first time. How has the new construction affected the flight of the ball? And we really don't have an answer for that yet, but to add to your point with the wind cheater and keeping the ball low, that might be more important, because in the outfield now everything is a little higher. So you might not have to hit it as low to get a wind cheater. You might get a little bit more help from the party deck in left field, the Hall of Fame, or a party deck in right field, the Hall of Fame in left. So the wind will come in a little higher than normal. Olivo drives it to deep left field. A 3-run wind cheater to left.
There's still some guys around that can really hit that hanging breaking ball, and Olivo really turned on that one. He said, well, I can't do it to center field, so I better do it to left center field. And he did. He hit that ball right on the screws, and that ball traveled very well into the left center field stands.
So 2 home runs in the inning and a 5-run lead for Greinke. Ball 1 to Willie Bloomquist.
Well, this is how you hit a hanging curveball right here. The ball just stayed right in there. He opened up, got his hands through. And it was all over at that point. He was jogging right away. He knew he got that
one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bloomquist. Hit a soft liner to second in the second inning. That's 3 home runs now for Olivo and 12 runs driven in. Ian Jacobs going deep in this 4-run 4th inning. Still 1-2. So Jacobs leading off the inning with a home run. Olivo with a 3-run shot, and now Miggy has a 9-game hitting streak. Hit hard to the right side and past the diving Roberts, and the Royals continue to get hits tonight against Eaton with 2 strikes, and they've also gotten a lot of 2-strike hits with the hitters behind in the count. Royals fans are loving the home runs in this inning, and especially in rival sports bar. This was the reaction after the Jacobs home run, and high fives everywhere. Willie Bloomquist started to take off, and it looked like Coco might trying to help him out by screening Greg Zahn, but Willie slammed on the brakes.
Well, Coco did a great job pulling the bat back. He kind of knows when a guy who steals bases does that, it's kind of telling everybody else, hey, when I run, I want you to try to hold that catcher back and give me more of an opportunity to steal a base.
Now Willie runs again, pulling the bat back. The throw is high, and Willie swipes his 5th.
Well, this is a guy that said the biggest thing about him was his ability to steal a big base when the Royals needed, and when he plays, something good always happens.
Coco is grounded to first, flied to center field. Just missed outside. Well, a pitcher this year that has a high ERA, over 7, and has thrown a lot of pitches along the way. This is going to become at least a 32-pitch inning for Adam Eaton. Pitch number 32 is inside, and now 3 balls, 1 strike. Long first inning. The Royals scored 2 on Guillen's single. Then Eaton went on to retire 7 in a row. 32 so far in this 4th. So he's up to 80, and there's only 1 out in the 4th inning. And nobody warming up yet in the Oriole bullpen. Now they're beginning to stir around. So Dave Tremblay might be asking Adam Eaton to take one for the team. Coco got under it. PA with the catch. So Bloomquist at second base with 2 outs. Series continues tomorrow at 6:10. Royals and Orioles, sponsored by Sprint. The first 20,000 fans will receive this replica of New Kauffman Stadium thanks to Fox Sports Kansas City. It's part of a 4-piece collectible set. It also includes, at some point this season, 3 Royals Hall of Fame statues. So we hope to see you tomorrow night at 6:10. Kyle Davies against Koji Yuhara, pitcher coming over from Japan. Mark Hendrickson, who was supposed to be starting at some point in this series. He was in the starting rotation, but he will be bumped on Sunday. It's going to be Rich Hill who will take his spot in the rotation. Oh, 0-1 on DeJesus. Singled and scored in the first inning. Took a called 3rd strike in the 3rd. slow curveball makes the count. No balls, 2 strikes. David spent a lot of time in the clubhouse tonight with all the rain. There was no batting practice on the field. Sitting at his locker and looking up at one of the television monitors and just watching the last 2 or 3 outings on videotape of Adam Eaton, getting a feel for what his pitches are. David hadn't faced him before tonight. Still 0-2. Well, somewhere Mike Aviles is smiling. He's not in the starting lineup, but the Royals are on their way to being 3-0 in games that are delayed by rain, and Aviles feels like sometimes that's the best thing, to just get out of the routine, relax. You can't do anything because of the rain, and it has kind of a calming effect, at least for him.
Well, these are days when you really have to take advantage of not being in the lineup. You go in and you look at video. You try to look at video from last year where you were swinging the bat good, and you try to match it to what you're doing now, and being able to sit along with one of his ex-teammates who played together with him in the minors. You know, they can really laugh and have some fun on the bench and get ready for tomorrow.
And late tail on that fastball hits the inside corner to end the inning. The Royals bat 8. They score 4. Mike Jacobs opens the inning with his 8th home run of the year. And then with 2 on, 1 out, Miguel Olivo with a 3-run blast. Five-run lead for Zach Greinke. He has struck out 3. Here's the Arby's pitch by pitch. 3 pitches to Melvin Mora. And all things considered, I think the Royals would like to have a lot of quick at-bats like this for Greinke.
Well, that was 1, 2, 3, fastball, curveball, and here's a slider off the end of the bat to get him out of the inning. But, you know, that's what Zach's capable of. He's capable of throwing pitches like that. And right now, being in the middle innings, it's nice to be able to have a couple 1, 2, 3s and get out of there. Low pitch counts, it really helps.
Now this game is for the fans, so you hope that things happen that please the fans, and they love the Greinke strikeouts, but some of his biggest strikeout performances this year require a lot of pitches. I remember that second start of the year for him against the Cleveland Indians here when he had all those strikeouts but was only able to go 5 innings. Here's tonight's Firestone leaderboard. Here are the Major League strikeout leaders. Roberts fooled badly, but the ball gets away from Olivo, and he can't pick it up. So there's a strikeout. Zach's 4th, but Roberts reaching on a wild pitch. So Zach now at 63 strikeouts on the year. No, there's a runner at first. Yeah, but it was a strikeout. But no, there's a runner at first. As Turris hits it hard, but right to Guillen. So a bad break for the Royals with a strikeout and a wild pitch, but then a good break as Turris hits it right into the Royals defense. He is 0 for 3. I think Joel needs to go help those guys out, although it looks like they're getting the tape out. And they now, is it the K's after the first K? Zach, right? And then KKK? Yeah. KKKK now. Because I didn't know if the first K in Zach, is that a strikeout or is that just his name? This is all very confusing. The last time Zach pitched at home, and that was the shutout against the White Sox, some of the fans were hanging Z's. There we go. So Zach has come up with his own symbol for strikeouts. De Jesus coming up in left field, and this is the second time that he catches a fly ball from Markakis. So 2 down. Roberts back to first. Here's the James B. Nutter pitch count for Zach Greinke. His longest inning was the third when the Orioles scored their 1 run, 23 pitches. Zach hit 74, 48 strikes. Aubrey Huff, that's slicing on Coco, but makes the catch. First time Huff has been retired. He has the Orioles RBI tonight. 6-1 Royals. A 2-run first, a 4-run fourth, and a 5-run lead for the Royals. After the game, Joel and Jamie will be out at Rival Sports Bar for Boulevard Royals Live, brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City's beer. Tonight is a great night for Rival Sports Bar with all the rain and the 2.5-hour delay. And there are more places to go at the new K on nights like this, and so far we've just had to deal with the cold during the first couple of homestands and some rain, but those are also going to be some good spots to go to when we get into June, July, and August.
It's almost like tailgating inside the ballpark.
3-0 on Billy, doubled with 1 out in the first inning, and look at his average leading off an inning. Our stat guru, Al Broughton, helping us put together some statistics. And It doesn't matter whether you're a leadoff guy or not. Sometimes you are leading off an inning, and how well do you do getting on base and getting that inning going?
Well, that's true, and in Billy's case, you'd like to have some men on base when he's leading. You know, when he comes up, when he is swinging good, but you know, when he gets on base with leading off an inning, that gives him a lot of chance to have big innings. But right now, the way he's swinging, you'd love to have people on when he's hitting.
Mike Jacobs leading off the 4th inning. Homer to straightaway center field. His 8th home run of the year. And then with 1 out, Tien singled, Callaspo walked, and Miguel Olivo hit a 3-run home run.
And this takes you back to the 4th inning, and he really just jumped on a fastball down in his wheelhouse, and like I so eloquently put it to Ryan, he hit a wind cheater.
To the left side is Turris. Makes the play on the pop-up. 2 quick outs for Eaton in the 5th inning. A lot of great promotions on this homestand, including another T-shirt Tuesday coming up on the 19th against the Cleveland Indians at 7:10. 20,000 fans will receive a T-shirt featuring George Brett from AT&T. So come on out. That's after the Monday off day. 3 games against the Tribe. Speaking of George, today is his birthday, 56 years old. So happy birthday. September the 4th is Frank White's birthday. If you want to start planning ahead and buying your balloons now. It's 0-2 on Guillen.
That's his birthday around Labor Day, you know. Those folks that have birthdays around Labor Day are them hard workers, you know. As a signal when school starts, you know, everybody's ready to get back to work. So.
And you, the hard-working man that you are, right?
Oh.
I mean, it works perfect.
Oh, man. Hardest working man in broadcasting.
0-2 on Jose Guillen. 2 out, 2-run single in the 1st inning and grounded out to 2nd in the 4th. Hey, you got to deal with us every day.
Well, I'm the rookie and I'm learning. I tell you what, I'm dumb. I'm the dumbest guy in the world when I walk through that door every day. So I always wait for somebody to tell me what to do.
Well, you talking about the game is better than the rest of us can do combined.
It's just that when you're a rookie, you got to always remember you're the rookie until someone who's been in the business 15 years or more tells you that you've arrived.
2-2 on Guillen.
Well, the Royals scoring early tonight really had to help Zach. You know, a lot of times you got to go through 3 or 4 innings and try to keep the other team from scoring. But when your team gets on the board first, it really helps.
Boy, Jose is really hitting the ball well to right field tonight. The 2-run single was to right when he grounded out in the 4th inning. That was well hit right to Brian Roberts. And now his 2nd single to right field. So he's 2 out of 3.
Well, he stays right there, and he keeps doing that, especially with 2 strikes. His average is going to slowly keep climbing, and he can start driving in a few more runs.
Now, he will strike out, I mean, because he is a power-type hitter, but he also does a good job for a guy of that type of shortening his swing and going up the middle into the opposite field with 2 strikes.
Well, he's had enough experience where he can go pitch by pitch with a pitcher and make the adjustments that he needs to make. He's seen enough pitches and enough games, and he can do that. Well, a lot of the Royals young hitters, they basically are making adjustments at bat versus pitch by pitch, and I think that's the difference. And that's what guys like Jose Guillen would be called professional hitters.
Tien 1 out of 2 with a run scored. Well, we've mentioned it before, Frank, that average major league hitters will make adjustments game to game. Good major league hitters will make adjustments at bat to at bat. But the best ones do it from pitch to pitch.
If you're going to drive in runs, that's what you have to be. You have to be able to make those adjustments for that at bat.
And I think the same goes for pitchers as well. You know, the average major league pitcher is making adjustments from start to start. The good ones from inning to inning, and the real good ones from pitch to pitch. They're reading the swings. They might not know what the hitter's trying to do against him once the at-bat starts, but after a pitch or two, a swing or two, they have a very good idea of what that hitter's trying to do, and maybe they can adjust their game plan on the fly.
Well, that's true.
It's that time of night where the young ones are starting to fade. Try as they might to stay up late on a Friday night. Now, that age, that doesn't apply. They might get up who knows when. That little girl might have already had 2 naps. Shallow right field, long run in for Markakis, dives. That was a gamble, and he was able to get some glove on it. So Tian singles. If he doesn't get glove on that ball with that full body dive, Guillen might score from first base.
Well, that's true. And Tian's had 2 exactly the same at bats. He's got the breaking ball down. He went down and hit it and really just served it out in right center field. I tell you, but Markakis made a really great effort to try to make this play, and he did everything he could to try to make this play. He's a very good outfielder.
Now the dad has one advantage here, Frank. That's the cup of coffee. And when Junior gets a little older, he'll figure that out. But in some ways, young children are like dogs. A tired dog is a well-behaved dog. And sometimes a tired kid who's falling asleep is a well-behaved kid.
That's because he's asleep. I think they have that clock in their bodies too. At a certain time, they burn so much energy when they're running around. I can imagine him just running around this ballpark having such a great time, and a 2-hour rain delay, and all of a sudden you just wear down. You just all that adrenaline just goes whoop, and it's time to go to sleep.
Two and one on Callaspo. Into center field and sinking. PA won't get it. Royals lead 7-1. Callaspo driving in his 13th of the year. So the ball dying in center field. This time it helped Alberto Callaspo.
Got in on him a little bit, and he cut it and went out there and turned over. And that's nice hands right there. Good changeup going away. Hit it about the trademark of the bat, and the ball just got out over the infield and just really took a dive.
2 at-bats ago for Callaspo. He hit it right on the nose, but it died out in deep center field. And this time it flamed out in front of Felix PA for an RBI, and now Miguel Olivo, who hit a 3-run home run his last time up, and now Buck Night has become free night for those who have hung out till 11:25 through the long rain delay. What a great gesture by the Royals and Aramark. Or maybe this guy who might not even be a real usher. It could just be a guy with an orange shirt.
He wasn't satisfied with one. He wanted another one.
Maybe he's decided it's time to go home.
I just want to run out.
There's his buddy. Well, that's great for the fans. And, you know, even though it's a Friday night, even though it's a big game, Even though Zach Greinke's pitching, you're still asking the fans quite a bit to stay this late, and most of them did. Off the fist. This will not be an easy play for Mora, who makes contact with Tien. So interference. Mark can smile about that because the Royals lead by 6. Coors Light 6th inning, and now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. The Royals hitting 2 home runs in their 4-run fourth. Mike Jacobs leading off, and then with 2 on 1 out, Miguel Olivo with a 3-run home run. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. So a 6-run lead for Greinke, who's given up 1 run in 5 innings. The Orioles getting 5 hits in the first 3 innings, and the way Zach's been going this year, that's news. But since the Orioles scored in the 3rd, Zach has retired the last 8. Now you put an asterisk next to one of them because he did strike out Brian Roberts, but Roberts reached with a wild pitch, so he is. The Orioles have not reached by way of a hit or a walk or a hit batter or an error since scoring that run in the 3rd. One and 2 on Melvin Mora, who's 1 for 2. Giving away hot dogs on Buck Night at Kauffman Stadium. Mora did not swing. Jerry Meals, the ruling on appeal.
Looked pretty good to me.
Shattered his bat on a fastball at 96. Mora is 1 for 3. Some pitchers, well, some players in general, will become angry and they'll let that get the best of them. But some guys, and we've seen a little bit of this from Zach, and I'm not talking about furious, but the other team lighting a fire under him and maybe using some of that frustration in a positive manner and stepping up his game to another notch if that's possible.
Well, Zach is a guy that relies on command, and when he leaves the ball out over the plate or when he makes a pitch he didn't think he should make, then he just really forces himself to concentrate a little bit harder, and I think that's what translates into success he has after a situation like that.
Lou Montañez has singled, flied out to deep center. Zach backs him off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But Zach figured he's made a couple of mistakes in Montañez, and he's really squared the ball up. So he's just going to go in and establish, okay, I want a part of the plate, and I'm going to go inside so I can go back outside and get what I want.
And then he nails the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So got him thinking in and pitches away. Two balls, 2 strikes. Montañez, a player who was drafted in the first round back in 2000 by the Cubs as a shortstop and just didn't quite put it together with the Cubs. Signed as a 6-year minor league free agent with the Orioles. And so he doesn't have a whole lot of major league experience, but he's in his late 20s. 27 years old, but still playing well. Last year in his first season in Double-A, hit for the Triple Crown. He was the MVP of the league and won the Triple Crown. So he might not be the youngest prospect, but a prospect nonetheless. Just fighting to stay alive. It's still 2-2. Another foul ball. And now Zach at 89 pitches.
Okay, you think catchers aren't tough when they play this game? Watch this breaking ball and where it goes off of Miguel Olivo. Just right off the corner of the shoulder, and that's being real tough right there.
Hardly flinched. And a slow breaking ball is pulled to Tien. On the money to Butler, 2 down. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre with Frank White, Joel Goldberg, producer Kevin Shank, director Steve Kurtenbach, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, and the rest of our Fox Sports Kansas City crew, bringing you the pictures in high definition tonight. And a long night. The Royals and Orioles having to wait 2 hours and 30 minutes for the first pitch, but so far it's been worth the wait as the Royals lead 7-1 to the middle of the 6th.
We're all 7-1. This is the 6th inning, and this is our Sonic Slam inning. And our contestant is Juanita Sprague from Gladstone, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Juanita will win $300. But if the Royals hit a grand slam, keeping in mind it has to be out of the park, Juanita will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Well, the Royals have hit 2 home runs tonight, both coming in the biggest inning, a 4-run fourth. Mike Jacobs with a solo home run, Miguel Oliva with a 3-run shot. Here's Mark Hendrickson taking over in the 6th inning. Royals getting all 7 of their runs against Adam Eaton. It'll be Bloomquist, Crisp, and DeJesus in the bottom of the 6th. Hendrickson, the former NBA player, played 4 seasons with New Jersey, Philadelphia, Sacramento, and Cleveland. No balls, 2 strikes on Bloomquist, 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base. Again, fighting it off to the right side. Aubrey Huff goes to the bag to get Bloomquist 1 down in the 6th. And Frank White, I ask you, as Mark Hendrickson became the 10th player in Major League history to play in both the NBA and the big leagues, can you name any of the first 9?
Chuck Connors.
Yes. Coco 0 for 3 so far. 2 flyouts to center and a ground out to first.
Danny Ainge would be 1.
That's 2.
Played pro basketball
in the NBA.
In the NBA.
Yep.
Okay.
So not one of the minor league or semi-pro professional basketball leagues, but actually in the NBA.
Well, I mean, does Michael Jordan count?
Nope, because he never played in a Major League Baseball regular season game.
Okay.
Still 0-2 on Coco. So you've got Chuck Connors, who was the rifleman, right? And Danny Ainge. What I thought was hilarious, because Danny Ainge, when he played on those Celtics teams, and he was a big guy, he was 6'5", 6'6". He looked little next to Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, but when he got to the plate in a big league game, he looked like a monster.
Yeah, he was put together pretty good.
Roberts to the middle and throws out Coco. 2 down in the 6th inning.
You have to help me now.
Well, I think you got the 2 biggest names. Gene Conley, Dave DeBuscher.
I didn't know Dave was there.
Yeah. Dick Groat, Frankie Baumholtz. I know you followed his career very closely. Cotton Nash, Ron Reed.
Ron Reed, yes, I should have known that one.
And Steve Hamilton.
And I should have known that one,
yeah?
too. Yes.
Okay.
Well, Ron Reed especially.
One and one on DeJesus. Singleton scored in the 1st inning. He has struck out twice since, and he has had an excellent catch by a fan in the new club level who brought his glove. Reaching over the railing.
Taking a home run away.
There's another one in that direction. Now, if he goes for this one, he's going to end up in the lower level. Now, in my opinion, Frank, some guys carry on a little too much when they catch a foul ball. This guy, in my opinion, he can go on and on all night. That was a great catch.
Now it's they got 2 great catches in the same section.
Royals scoreless in the 6th inning. Four Z's so far, meaning 4 strikeouts for Zach Greinke. Here's the Verizon Wireless game summary. Allowed a run in the 3rd inning, but has not allowed a hit since the 3rd. His ERA going up to .61 from .51. Royals with 2 in the 1st, 4 in the 4th, with Jacobs and Olivo going deep, and another run in the 5th. So a 6-run lead for Zach, and now Billy on the first pitch of the 7th. Swings around into foul ground and comes back to the bag to get Greg Zahn. Our next broadcast in high definition will be tomorrow at 6:10. Royals Live beginning at 5:30. Brought to you by Time Warner Cable. This is a 4-game series with the Orioles. Their only trip to Kansas City, which makes getting this game in tonight by any means necessary very important. Otherwise, you're talking about double headers or making games up on an off day.
And that's something that none of us want to do. We want to play them one at a time and take advantage of the off days when they come.
0-2 on Felix P.A., who is grounded out and flied out. Both teams have a mutual off day on Monday. Now the Royals don't want to lose that date because they have their Royals charity golf tournament. There's Zach with a 62 mile-an-hour curveball. But the Orioles are in a stretch right now of playing 20 straight games, so they would have to approve playing the game on Monday. That's the maximum amount of games you can play in the big leagues without an off day. Zach strikes out his 5th. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Well, this is the pitch that's hard to pick up for left-handers. And you know, you see more and more left-handers this year with 2 strikes chase that pitch, and I think it all has to do with the arm action that he has coming through and how that arm action looks like it's fastball, and before they realize it, then they've already chased the slider, at least a check swing or a full swing.
And a changeup for a strike to Brian Roberts. Roberts has been on base 7 times in the first 2 games of the series. 2 hits, 2 walks last night. Tonight a walk, a double. He has scored the only Baltimore run, and then struck out but reached on a wild pitch in the 5th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, says home plate umpire Dale Scott.
And Roberts has got a real good eye at the plate, and his hands are real quick, and that's what makes him a hard guy to strike out.
And with the count 1-2, he strokes it past Zach and into center field. So he's been on base 8 times in the first 2 games. A reminder, Inc. College Nights offer $7 tickets to high school and college students with a valid student ID every Wednesday. And this upcoming Wednesday is also a happy hour with concession specials in the outfield experience. So come on out. 1-800-6-ROYALS. Royals.com. Stop by the stadium box office or go to any area Hy-Vee food store. Inc. College Nights every Wednesday. -0 on his Turris. Zach at 102 pitches, and with that, the Royals have some activity in the bullpen. In his 8-inning complete game on Saturday, threw 115 pitches. And that is his season high. 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't think Zach would like to be in a position where he couldn't finish the inning, but for the benefit of the fans, it would be nice to see him come out in the middle of the inning so the fans can acknowledge him.
Well, if anything like what's going on in the past, they'll all be on their feet and they'll all be cheering very loudly.
Sliced up the left field line and foul. But the fans now are well aware of all the new bells and whistles at Kauffman Stadium, and this began last year with the brand new Crown Vision. They, I'm sure, have a feel for how many pitches he's thrown, and if he finishes off this 7th inning, I'm sure they'll understand that this is most likely his last inning.
Well, they're sort of getting warmed up now, right? You know, normally in this situation, they all be on their feet. They'll all be cheering for that last strike. They've been here a long time.
Zach has retired 12 of the last 14 since the Orioles scored their run in the 3rd. Got him looking. 6 strikeouts, and they will stand and cheer him to the dugout once again. Tonight, talking about Zach's best strikeout pitch, his slider.
Well, and really it's all predicated on that fastball command. But when he gets the 2 strikes and he throws that pitch and it's working, it's awful hard to hit. It's awful hard to lay off of.
6 strikeouts for Zach, and assuming this is his last inning, with 105 pitches, and Juan Cruz still continues to throw in the bullpen. 0-2 on Billy Butler. Doubled and scored in the 2-run first inning. I think Trey's saying now, when you throw that pitch, you'd grip it like this. Because I'd like to see everyone throwing that pitch like that.
I think it's all in the mechanics. It's all in the delivery, the deception. I mean, he just got it all working for him.
Called strike 3. Hendrickson strikes out his second. Billy is 1 for 4. And even if he is coming out, and I think the smile on his face would reveal that he is, he and Olivo still talking and thinking ahead to his next start, which will be at the end of the Cleveland series. So 1 away to Mike Jacobs, 1 for 3 with a solo homer in the 4th inning. Royals with 2 in the first. Jose Guillen with 2 outs, singled in 2 runs. 4 in the 4th. Jacobs homered, and then Olivo hit a 3-run home run, and then Callaspo in the 5th inning driving in a run with a single. The lone Baltimore run coming in the 3rd on a base hit from Aubrey Huff, and at that time it made it a 2-1 game. And Zach didn't quite look like Zach, at least this year, in the first 3 innings. That's up the middle and into center field. So Jacobs has 2 hits. But when it was 2-1 in the 3rd inning, the Royals then started to run away with that 4-run 4th and a single tally in the 5th.
Well, since Mike Jacobs' strikeout, he's had the big home run and another base hit, staying straight in the middle. And even in Oakland, he missed a great opportunity early in the game with men on base, and then came back later in the game and hit a solo home run. So we just need to get him hitting those home runs with men on base and turn those solo homers into 2- and 3-run homers.
They're still giving away hot dogs on Buck night at Kauffman Stadium. Now that guy, he's just playing catch with a hot dog. Oh, 0-2 on Guillen. 2 hits, a run scored, 2 RBIs. One and two. Well, Trey Hillman, who mixes and matches quite a bit with his lineup, trying to find the right combination which would lead to a big inning, and that worked in the 4th. And right now the combination appears to be, at least in the middle of the order, Butler, Jacobs, Guillen, and Tien. And those 4 positions 3 through 6 scoring 4 runs, driving in 1. Callaspo and Olivo, the 7 and 8 hitters, have combined to drive in 4 of the 7 runs. That's another called 3rd strike in this inning. So Hendrickson has struck out 2 in the 7th and 3 since coming in the 6th. Let's go around the American League, where the Yankees coming back and winning in the 9th and beating Minnesota, who led most of the game. Remember, the Royals were tied with Minnesota and Detroit for first place. Tigers just blowing out Oakland 14-1. Toronto over Chicago. That's 24 wins for the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay over Cleveland. Texas over the Angels, and the Mariners beating Boston. The Texas taking a 2.5 game lead in the American League West. Jacobs at first base with 2 down. Mark Teahen, 2 hits, a run scored. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coming into tonight, and there really is no explanation for this at all. The Royals had lost 15 out of their last 18 to the Baltimore Orioles here at Kauffman Stadium. It's just one of those stats that doesn't make any sense. As Torres can't get it, it's a 3-hit game for Teahen. And 12 hits for the Royals tonight.
Well, Mark's done a good job just cutting his swing down and not trying to pull a ball. And he just really fought that ball off in the hole over there, like a little light cutter away, and he just stayed on it and went right with the pitch.
A lot of encouraging things about tonight, and I am not declaring this game over, but a disappointing game last night, extending the losing streak to 6 games. The Royals have played well in all facets of the game tonight. They pitch well. They've made some plays on defense. 7 runs on 12 hits. And you and I talked about this last night, the concern that when you have a long travel night, that it's not always the day of the long travel as it was last night, but sometimes it's the day after that. And the Royals are playing obviously a much better game tonight than they did last night.
Well, I think it goes back to pitching also. The pitch, even in last night's game, Gill breezed through the first 3 or 4 innings. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden you get the deep counts, you get the walks, and all of a sudden your defense kind of goes right along with you. So Zach's done a great job tonight of standing in the strike zone and putting the ball in play, and everybody on defense seems to be reacting to that.
Iaspo has driven in a run. He has scored. And now as a right-hand batter lines it into center field. That'll score Jacobs. Teahen goes to third. That was not a smart play by PA, because into second base is Iaspo, and the Royals lead 8-1. Iaspo has driven in 2.
In that situation right there, Caspo does a great job of staying on the off-speed pitch and fighting it in the center field, but PA's got to understand that you don't want to try to throw a guy out unless you know you can throw him out. You want to make sure you keep that force out at second base in order.
And we are 1 minute away from tomorrow. Olivo, good swing on that pitch, who already has a 3-run home run tonight. It was back in the 4th inning. So this game will be played on Friday night and now Saturday morning. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, this was a homestand, and there are no gimmies, but you come into a 7-game homestand and you're facing 2 teams that are in last place, and those are the games you need to win.
You have to win those games, and you got to come with the attitude that you're in first place and tied for first place, and they're trying to catch you and will get you out of first place because they want to really get themselves motivated by beating you. So you got to play up to your level and not down to their level.
Royals had a run in the 7th. 8-1 Royals, and Zach Greinke will go 7 tonight, giving up 1 run, 6 hits. And when you're pitching as well as Zach has this year, it is possible to allow only 1 run in 7 innings and have your ERA go up. And it went up by 0.09 of a point to .60. So that's through 8 starts. And Zach, if he continues to go at this rate, has a chance to put himself in elite company. He's already done that with his start so far, but to go 10 starts and have an ERA under 1, he would join most recently Pedro Martinez, and then before that Don Drysdale. So you're not talking about just a few years ago and you're going back to Drysdale. So Juan Cruz on for the 8th with Markakis, Huff, and Mora coming up. Tien gets Markakis, and Markakis, who is 3rd in the league in RBIs and had 3 last night, is 0 for 4 tonight.
Zach has really put himself in elite company in a lot of areas, but if you were to talk to him, he would say, I just want the W. That's all I'm worried about, is helping my team win.
And the question comes up, I brought this up earlier, that we play a team for the first time, and in this case the Orioles, and we talk to the other announcers and exchange information. And of course, one of the Orioles announcers is former Royals catcher Buck Martinez, but Gary Thorne, who's done a lot of work with ESPN on hockey and baseball. There's the television team. And then talking to Joe Angel and Fred Manfra on the radio side, what is Zach doing? And maybe you just summed it up. That there's Joe Angel on the left and Fred Manfra on the right. Is maybe that, just the focus on the Royals winning games. Not that Zach didn't want the Royals to win games earlier in his career, but just simplifying things. Let's just get outs. Forget about strikeouts. Forget about some of the numbers. What can I do to get outs and help the Royals win ball games?
And what he did was he just went to spring training and he just worked on his command. Most of spring training it was fastball, command, changeup, and then he just added a pitch as he went along. And when it came time in his first start, he had 4 pitches that he had good command of, that he can throw over the plate when he wanted to, and then he's got 4 strikeout pitches if he wants to, because he can throw them anytime he wants, and he's been able to utilize that and really change in the middle of games when he thinks he needs to make an adjustment if he thinks the other hitters are getting on him.
Huff fouls it away. Now, same time though, Frank, Zach is not showing us anything this year that we haven't seen before. We've seen that good slider, we've seen the curveball, we've seen the fastball. So how do you answer that question when people say, what has clicked for Zach Greinke?
I think what's clicked is he's been able to get all those over on any count. And he goes out on the mound confident, knowing that he's not worried about how many runs his team scores for him. He's just going to go out there and do what he can do to keep the score down. And the thing that I noticed right away, that he was able to throw his curveball over for a first pitch strike, throw his curveball over for a strikeout. He could throw his slider first pitch, throw it last pitch, fastball, command, sets it all up. And then the one thing that I would really point to was that he's been more aggressive, throwing the fastball in off the plate, not worrying about hitting batters, just setting up, making one pitch, set up another pitch, and not just throwing pitch after pitch. So each pitch he throws sets up another pitch.
Right field, Mitch Meyer just into the game. Circling to make the catch and retire Aubrey Huff. Here's tonight's defensive play of the game, brought to you by the Home Depot, doing more on defense. And how about this fan in the club level, reaching over the railing and did everything right except choose the size of his shirt tonight. And as Frank said earlier, with his female companion in the seats there. There's the undersized shirt. But that wasn't the only good catch he's made tonight.
Now there was 2 great catches right there. That's true. So if she doesn't mind his short shirt, I think he'll probably wear it again. Until he hear what you say. He'll go back and watch the replay. Somebody will tell him.
Robert Andino batting for Melvin Mora, who is 1 for 3. Now, I also pointed out, though, with that catch, that some fans get carried away when they catch a ball like they've just won a gold medal in the Olympics. But this guy, his celebration was justified because that was a very good play.
That was a great catch.
You can go on and on. See, look. Yeah, pump of the fist, hands in the air, high five. Careful, not, well, don't high five the gal like it's one of your buddies out at Rival Sports Bar. So you get a little too carried away. Now, your buddy, you can give him the hard high five, but you got to pull back a little bit, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, she gave him a high five.
Best fan play we've seen this year. Juan Cruz gets the Orioles in order in the 8th inning. You can stay connected to the game on your computer if you subscribe to MLB.tv. You'll get 100 out-of-market games per week. You can catch games you miss on demand. A premium subscription lets you pause and rewind live TV at MLB.tv. Willie Bloomquist against Mark Hendrickson, who's pitching out of the bullpen for the first time this year and trying to give the Orioles 3 innings. Good start to the 8th, getting Bloomquist on an infield pop-up. So Willie is 1 for 4. He's added his 5th stolen base of the year. And brings up Coco Crisp. It's not often the Royals have a night like tonight, and Coco doesn't have some sort of a role, small or big, but so far tonight he is 0 for 4 as Farnsworth gets ready to pitch the 9th. Coco has grounded out twice, flied out twice. Royals scored 7 of their 8 runs against Adam Eaton, and 1 against Hendrickson in 2 1/3 innings. 0-2 on Coco. Tomorrow night, the scheduled pitchers were supposed to be Kyle Davies and Koji Uehara, the Japanese pitcher, but he has been moved to Sunday. And Rich Hill is expected to come off of the disabled list and pitch tomorrow and take the spot of Mark Hendrickson, who's pitching right now and had made his first 7 appearances this year in the starting rotation. That's tomorrow at 6:10. Remember, the first 20,000 fans will get the replica of the new K. Royals Live begins tomorrow at 5:30 with Joel and Jamie, or later tonight, depending on how you want to look at it. Markakis in right field. And a rare hitless night, or I should say a rare night where Coco doesn't get on base some way. He is 0 for 5.
I think one thing late that Coco's really been hitting a lot of fly balls lately, so he needs to get back to hitting hard ground balls and line drives. And I mean, he's just not in this ballpark. Him hitting fly balls is just not going to make it.
And especially in this ballpark tonight. We've seen a lot of fly balls die.
Right. He needs to, just hit the line drives and hard ground balls and try to let his speed help him a little bit more.
David DeJesus off to a good start in the first inning. He was down 0-2 against Adam Eaton and singled, and that got the Royals going. They ended up scoring 2 runs, but he has since struck out in his next 3 plate appearances. Back to Hendrickson, and the former NBA player. It's tough to get it over his head. And the Royals down 1-2-3 in the 8th, but lead by 7 on our way. Here's what's coming up on Boulevard Royals Live with Joel and Jamie. Another solid performance from Zach Greinke, 1 run in 7 innings. Post-game interviews, Friday night fans questions, and hopefully, if we can get 3 outs here, a Royals victory in the end to a 6-game losing streak. All that coming up right after the game on Boulevard Royals Live, brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City's beer. Kyle Farnsworth will pitch to Montañez, Reimold, and Zahn. Zach allowed 1 run in 7 innings. Juan Cruz a scoreless 8th, and now Farnsworth, who is turning his season around, 8 consecutive scoreless appearances covering 9 innings. allowing 9 runs last night. The Royals still leading the American League in ERA. And that won't change tonight. With the Royals giving up 1 run so far in 8 innings. Montañez singled back in the 2nd inning. It's 2 balls, no strikes. The Orioles with 5 of their 6 hits in the first 3 innings against Zach, and the way he's been pitching this year, that's notable. But after they scored their run in the 3rd inning, Zach finished his outing by retiring 13 of the last 15. And now with Cruz going 1, 2, 3 in the 8th, 16 of the last 18 Orioles hitters have been retired, and 1 of the 2 that reached was a strikeout and a wild pitch. So the bats have gone silent since they scored a run on 3 hits back in the 3rd.
Well, Zach is a tough guy to pick up, and I think that the Orioles would probably say the Zach that they saw last year is totally different than the Zach they're seeing right now.
And now Zach is 2 outs away from beating the Orioles for the first time. He had come in tonight 0-2 in 5 appearances with an ERA over 10. And aware of the fact that he had not beaten Baltimore. Last year only faced him once, but he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. But this year is a little different version of Zach Greinke. Nolan Reimold is 0 for 3, and Farnsworth's slider is outside.
No, Farnsworth is such a power guy, power fastball, power slider. That you think that he could probably develop maybe something more off speed, something that can change the tempo of the hitter, because pitching is really breaking timing of the hitter more than anything else. And when your slider's hard and your fastball's hard, and there's really nothing in the middle to get the hitters out front, so it wouldn't be a bad idea if maybe he would maybe try to develop a slow curveball or even start throwing a cutter, which is a little slower, or a 2-seamer, which is a little slower, but they give you a little more movement and something different for the hitters to see.
And as you say that, I'm thinking about how, just using Zach as an example, fastball in the mid-90s and that hard slider, but he also will throw a curveball anywhere from 60 to 74 miles an hour.
And that helps Joakim Soria also. He's got that slow curveball, and then he can drop in for strike 1 or strike 2 or strike 3. So when you can throw these pitches over at any count, then now you're going from probably a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball to 78 miles an hour on a curveball, and then in Zach's case even 61 miles an hour on a curveball, and the hitters can speed up, but they have a hard time slowing down.
Farnsworth gets a pop-up. Olivo makes the play, so Kyle comes back after falling behind 3-0. And the Royals are 1 out away from snapping the 6-game losing streak and remaining in a first-place tie in the American League Central. So the fans standing and cheering on the Royals, although we should be standing and cheering the fans. A sellout crowd, at least tickets for a sellout crowd, and not all of them stayed through the long rain delay, but most of them did.
And now they're on their feet.
We're going to get a fireworks show when the game is over. So the Royals will move back to 2 games above 500 in 19 and 17. 1-1 on Greg Zahn, 2 ground outs and a walk. 0 for 7 so far in the series. Two and two. That slider at 90 miles an hour. Into left field, Zahn has a 2-out base hit. Only the second hit for the Orioles since the 3rd inning.
Cal just got that fastball up. It had velocity, but when you pitch up, then good hitters are going to put that ball in play. He threw like a 90-mile-an-hour slider down under his swing, and he swung over it. But, you know, Cal lives and dies with his fastball, and right there, if you can't get it down, you know, the guys are going to hit it.
Felix P.A., who began the 2 biggest innings for the Orioles last night, is hitless tonight. And the Orioles came up with 4 runs in the 5th. It was a 1-out walk to PA, who was hitting just 200. And when they scored 3 in the 6th, it was that bloop to right field. It looked like a single, but he turned it into a double. And that was right after the Royals had gotten back into the game, made it a 1-run game. But when it was all said and done, the Orioles won by 4.
Well, Zach has kind of brought it all together tonight. You know, he really set the tone early in the game, and the Royals got on the board early with their offense, and he was able to get them deep into the game. And Juan Cruz came in into a scoreless inning where the bullpen had been kind of shaky the last 4 or 5 games, not being able to come in and hold the game where it was. So it's kind of nice to see it all kind of come back together tonight.
Mike Jacobs has homered for the Royals. Miguel Olivo's homered for the Royals. Jose Guillen has driven in 2 runs. Alberto Callaspo has driven in 2 runs. Jacobs scored twice. It's still 1-2 on PA. Called third strike. So 5 hours and 16 minutes after the scheduled first pitch, the Royals win 8-1. They snap the 6-game losing streak.